Welcome to Xero Hero, a short video blog from HBA Encompass aimed to make your Xero journey easier. Please note that all the slides today have been created from existing Xero training videos. Xero has rapidly changed in the past few years, so sometimes the pictures are using old screenshots or overseas versions. Where possible, each session is followed up by a live demonstration. If you have any queries regarding any content delivered today, feel free to contact me via email, victoria@hbaencompass.com.au or phone 0754 447094.
Welcome to groups.
The next thing that we go across is a new group. So groups are really handy if you want to be able to keep track of different types of suppliers or customers for some reason. And the most common one that I've seen used is for people in the construction industry where they have to fill in the taxable payments annual report, the TPAR report, which is the report of what payments you've made to subbies for the year. So what we do is we set up a new group called subcontractors, and then when we want to pull a report, we search to that group and it pulls out all payments to those people. So it's a nice, easy way of doing it. And you can see when we get further into the training today, we're going to talk about smart lists, and these groups can be quite helpful in there. If you add someone to a group or add a new group, it doesn't take them out of being a customer or a supplier. It's just like a database entry that adds them to that group. Okay, so you can see here this one's put training customers. So you might have different type of customers. Perhaps you might want, if you had a gym, you might have yearly subscriptions or monthly subscriptions or weekly subscriptions, which might make it a bit easier to pull some of the lists down the track without having to go and get a full CRM system. So it's just an additional feature that Xero has to make our life a bit easier. The thing there in going into these groups is if you're going to do invoices to these groups, so perhaps you might have someone who's on a weekly recurring invoice, then you can actually go into sales, and when you go on to the new, you can see here it's got invoice to training customers. So if you've got groups there, you could do invoices to all the people who are on weekly payments and invoice them all in one foul swoop. Instead of having to have repeating invoices or whatever it is, you can just go in the first of the week and hit that invoice. So quite easy, very good for any subscription type business or any reason why you might want to just invoice a particular group of your customers. You can see here that we've got customers, suppliers, contractors, support clients, so some have already been set up. We might want to add this person to an existing group, or we can add a new group and we'll put them to the support clients. So easy to get them in and out of groups. We might want to remove them from the group. If you for some reason want to take them out, you can delete the group. Nice, easy process. Adding a contact we've dealt with before, but what we can do here, which we touched on, is we can go into the new sales invoice or the new bill directly from there. We can add documents from our file library or upload files. We can merge them or we can archive them. So contacts is pretty cool and pretty easy. The smart lists is the things that probably need the most playing with, to be truthful. So you can see here that there are some saved ones which come up standard. So what we might do is anyone who has invoiced more than $1,000 in the last 4 weeks. Okay, so what it does, it lists who they are, and that's the total of all the invoices for that person. So if you've done several invoices to the small business services, it's the total. It's not going to list them all. And then we just sort And there's your list of your customers by how much you've invoiced them, which is really handy if you wanted to know who your biggest customers are. Okay, so the actual drop downs, you can have obviously a variance of the things there. Purchase, people haven't purchased, so you might want to send something out to them and go, hey, haven't heard from you in a while, here's a 5% discount to come back in, or something like that. Payments, location, or a contact group. You can make it any outstanding, overdue, paid, or a total, more than or less than, ever, 2 years, last year, 6 months, 4 weeks, 7 days. So there's a massive combination of there. You can save the search if you want to. You can run the search. We can export it to CSV. And then it comes up in an Excel spreadsheet that you can cut and paste or upload into something. So quite easy, quite simple, but very, very powerful, particularly as a marketing tool to know what people have done. Okay, and you can also make it do any of the following. So I could go invoiced any more than $1,000 in the first week, and payments more than in the 7 days. So anyone who's bought off me in the last 4 weeks or paid in the last 7 days, you could send a detail through. Or less than 0. So anyone who hasn't paid in the last 7 days. So you can, and as we said, you can dovetail in there and put his details in there as well. Nice and easy, which automatically updates it to their contact, but also means if you want to export it to something that it comes out. Okay. My name's Victoria Berry. I'm one of the directors of HBA Encompass. So if you need to contact me, my email address is victoria@hbaencompass.com.au, or of course our phone number is 0754 44 7094. Thanks for listening.